What do you wish Hollywood would stop doing? Remakes of good movies. I don't understand why they remake good movies, when there are tons of flops that have potential that they could remake. Characters getting punched multiple times in the face in one scene and having no signs of the trauma in the next scene. Empty cups. I hate seeing people holding cups and pretending to take drinks from obviously empty cups. Their hands never move right. Or if it's an open cup, you can literally see that it's empty. Casting attractive people in ugly roles. Showing incorrect CPR. Forcing a love story that makes no sense in a movie that has nothing to do with romance. Having a main character whose job, income level does not match their home or lifestyle at all. Stop recreating bad versions of good classic movies, stop using spectacular CGI to distract from a subpar plot. I'm looking at you, Disney. Adapting shit into live-action movies when they should really be animated. Examples include upcoming Mega Man, Pac-Man and Minecraft movies, which are all set to be live-action. Milking everything dry. I wish Hollywood would stop treating the medium of animation as something inherently inferior to live-action. I also wish 2D animation was used more for movies. Treating child stars like shit. All great answers, but what I've seen lately is just a lot of wacky decision-making. There's multiple video game adaptation movies and TV shows come out lately that miss the mark completely. Resident Evil, Halo, etc. I know adaptations always have their quirks and things that would outrage a fan base, but geez. The Halo TV show really felt like they just wanted to write their own story with already existing characters. It all comes down to executive decision. I just wish the creators have more control over their projects. Instead of having execs with no creative abilities suggesting, maybe you should make the super soldier get out of his augmented power armor and instead just fight naked. Also make him want to bang the enemy like Romeo and Juliet. Casting 35-year-olds as high schoolers. Lately, so many movies are dark-scened. Watching old movies I can actually see what is going on. A lot of new movies I can barely discern what the fuck is going on. It could be daytime in the scene and it feels like nighttime. Also, I can't fucking hear shit anymore in movies. They're loud mumbling. Shaky cam action fight scenes. No, this is not artistic. Your choreography just sucks and you have to hide it. Whispering, mumbling dialogue then cutting to a chase scene, dramatic posing close-ups. The endless attempts at creating universes. Please stop. Stop having people take like one bite of what they ordered then leave. It's a small thing, but I've never seen it happen in real life. Making movies where the one good guy defeats 20 bad guys because the 20 bad guys attack the one good guy one by one. Spoiling the film in the trailers. Pretending people can actually have a conversation in a bar without yelling. Casting the same 10 actors in everything. Let's get some new blood in there. Scenes that are too fucking dark to actually see. If I wanted to listen to a show, I'd download an audiobook. Reboots and sequels. Come up with something new. Especially quit with making substandard remakes of successful non-English language films. Market the originals and trust people to be able to follow subtitles instead of producing plastic knock-offs. Having dialogue you can barely hear, so you turn the sound up only for it to be followed by explosions or super dramatic music that rattles your speakers and eardrums. Creepy, controlling, manipulative, stalkerish behavior being presented as romantic. Just no. Making them rich and gorgeous doesn't make it okay either. Female characters who are kick-ass good or kick-ass evil, usually having the sole motivation of some man done her wrong. CGI is not a replacement for a strong story, engaging character development and good actors. It's like getting a pretty gift box on your birthday and finding out that there's actually no gift inside. Redirect some of the budget towards substance rather than style. Protecting predators. Making it impossible to hear dialogue. Medical shows without consulting medical people. Making all the explosions and sound effects 100x louder than the dialogue. Casting middle-aged women to play elderly women and just making their hair white. Casting late 20s, early 30s women to play middle-aged women and just dressing them in frumpy clothes. Casting late 20s actors to play high school students. Just hanging up after a phone conversation without saying bye pisses me off for some reason. Follow up. Thank you for the silver. Preaching at us to be better while they fly around in private jets, mega yachts and fancy cars. Messing up the sound mix so that we have to constantly adjust the volume for music and dialogue. Edit. Thanks for the award, BWWWAAHHH. This may sound ridiculous, but here it is. I fucking cannot stand characters who are driving and talking to a passenger but not watching the road. They think the same courtesy rules of eye contact apply even when you are a conversant behind the wheel. You're driving a vehicle. Watch the road, not the person to whom you're talking. Female action stars that fight in high heels. Putting CGI first rather than the story. Inserting romance in movies, shows that don't need it. Not every guy and gal that meet on screen have to end up together. Despite what PUAs might say, they can just be friends. Glamorizing mental illness. It fucking sucks and is difficult to live with. Sequels, prequels, remakes, reimaginings, reboots etc. Using that Sandy Brown filter on Middle Eastern cities. Casting 20-somethings to play teenagers and then constantly putting them in sexual situations. Oh wow lady. You're surprisingly good at punching, shooting, hunting, anything other than sewing, thanks. I grew up with 14 brothers. Making women perfect all the time. I don't want to see a post-apocalyptic world or a safari adventure where the women have their makeup done, hair styled and armpits shaved. It's incredibly unrealistic, but then again, so is everything else. The same movies over and over again. I have no problems with story structures being similar, but when we're on our 10th Predator movie and 11th Fast and the Furious and 200th Marvel project, it just starts to get same and boring. Portraying love at first sight. Show us the actual, drawn out, awkward, friends to lovers shit that happens in real life. Having all the characters be some type of trendy creative professional or generic upscale office worker, like, can I get some shows with normal middle class or poor people in them? Can't a bartender and an electrician fall in love too? Screwing over special effects companies with contracts that won't keep the lights on, resulting in them going under. Sometimes, right after winning an Oscar for their efforts, screwing over talent with contracts that offer points on the box office, and then claiming that their biggest hit of the decade made no money, screwing over the First Amendment with their aggressive litigation, DMCA abuse, and aggressive lobbying efforts to make the law value copyright over freedom of expression, hypocritically lambasting the little people for the impact of their infrequent travel and modest lifestyles. while themselves flying around the world to shoot movies or just turn up at social events to have their picture taken and get one of those swell swag bags, watering the luxurious lawns of their mansions during a severe drought, and exploiting undocumented labor to work on them for less than minimum wage, abusing the young, eager new talent that is constantly arriving in search of opportunities, engaging in the worst nepotism of perhaps any single industry, bringing in auteur directors, and trying to foist off a Batman reboot on them. I want more movies and shows about people of all ages, especially people over 50. It's an issue that's rarely considered when talking about the lack of diverse stories. Additionally, Hollywood too often casts older men with younger women as romantic interests, regardless of the narrative. Most everyone I know dates, marries people close to their own age. I wish they'd stop giving lead roles to people who aren't talented just because they're attractive. Shaky cam during action scenes. Sometimes it's appropriate and can help show the chaos of the situation, but 95% of the time it's needless and you can't see what the hell is happening. Cash grabs. Perfect Hollywood skin. Treating casual nudity like it's R-rated. Sexual nudity. Sure, I get it. But then mass violence, gore, killing, and people exploding is PG-13. Using Kevin Hart, The Rock and Ryan Reynolds in every damn thing. I agree with what people posted about sound leveling for music vs. quiet conversations and other comments made. My addition is two things I don't think were posted. Stop using Wilhelm scream in movies because sometimes it doesn't even match the scene. Stop using tell over show. Sometimes movies exposition dump when they could just trust the audience to reason it out themselves. The whole point of pictures is to show the audience through cinematic storytelling. Hyping up PR relationships. Not just fake romantic relationships, but also using joking comments made in one interview as though it's actually dissatisfaction and criticism. It gets back around to colleagues like so-and-so thinks the show is trash. These are workplaces. Lazy entertainment media gets engagement by disrupting professionalism. They love making coworkers hate each other for nothing. My coworkers love to play this game where they grab the most innocuous book off of my shelves and demand that it be banned. I have to then come up with a reason why it would plausibly be banned in the United States. If we were in the entertainment industry, this would get reported as a legitimate assault on civil liberties by the very people who are supposed to safeguard them. It would destroy the camaraderie. Take Stranger Things. Millie Bobby Brown jokingly said that she wished the Duffer Brothers killed people off like Game of Thrones. For a good month the story was that she thought the show was soft. The Duffer Brothers were cowards, etc. The press dragged the Duffer Brothers into this, trying to drive a wedge between them because of a joke. If they didn't get along so well, I could imagine this derailing the show completely. Depicting allergies and asthma as either nerdy, all in your head, conditions that a person can outgrow through confidence and personal will. Sexual misconduct. Nerdy shy girl to take off glasses and let hair down, do become surprise stunner. How about she is nerdy, quirky, whatever, and the other actor, actress just likes them as they are? You can still have the romance angle, but it doesn't have to be this revealed to a new person. Protecting abusers and pedophiles. CGI remakes. They all suck, they're all bad, and they all make the original look like a joke.